What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts, Spider, and I am joined by Mr. VIP Frankie Washington. How are you doing today, sir?
I
What note was that?
I am infinitely awesome, sir. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Oh man, it's been I was about to say it's been a minute, but it really hasn't. I mean, we just did this last week, but I don't know why it feels like it's been so long since the last time we've done this.
Time flies when you're having fun. That's what it is.
I guess
That's what I'm gonna say it is.
I can't say that I've been having a lot of fun outside of the episodes, but I mean,
Why not?
Just work, man.
Yeah, you gotta love what you do. If you don't love what you do, stop doing that. That don't make no sense.
It's because we're in a period of time between what was February President's Day.
It's in there, yeah.
And Memorial Day for my job. We're in between a period of time to where there's no holidays in between that span. So you're looking at like 3 months almost.
Oh, yeah.
Of just,
okay, I got you.
9 to 5.
Grind. Grueling.
Yeah. And it's just I think I'm just at that point where it's like I need a break. And because it's not that I don't love the job, it's not that I don't love the work. I absolutely love what I do, but at some time you get tired. You wake up like, do I call off today?
You bring up a very, very real situation, Spider, and I think I know the exact. Wait, hold on for a second. I need to get in this bag real fast. All right, there we go. There we go. Now I'm complete.
Now you can make.
I don't need that bag anymore.
Oh well.
Here's what you need, Spider. You just need a holiday inside that 3-month time span. Yeah, go ahead and break one.
Go make a holiday.
They make them all the time. How you think we got steak and BJ Day?
That's not a federally recognized holiday.
Not yet, but hey, if Clinton was in office, that thing would have been already sanctioned. Yeah, national holiday. Hey, they got Juneteenth. Yeah. That wasn't right. Yeah, see that? Thank you, President Trump.
Because I don't even know what to call them, but there's national, blank day just about every day of the year. But as far as
federally recognized,
as far as
I think there's a national
significant things that happened within that time frame. I don't know if there's been anything historically significant enough to warrant a federal holiday.
We got to make something.
We got to make something historically significant.
Yeah, we got to make something. That's all we have to do, and then have the government recognize it because it was triumphant, right?
Hopefully.
Then it has to be. That's well, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I feel like most of the holidays that we have now are because of something traumatic. Veterans Day, Memorial Day,
based off of tragedy. See, that's why we stand out, because we went the opposite way. We went the way, then it's triumphant, and everybody can agree that we should have that day off. Now, keep in mind, the weather in that time, well, I guess I can't say anything because, it
really depends on where you're at.
Black History Month is the shortest and coldest month out the year. Yet and still we barbecue. I'm just saying that we do.
I don't know.
We like it.
But I don't know. There may be a holiday within that time frame at some point in the future. I don't know. But
yeah, we're gonna make something. Let's get together. It could be National Picnic Day.
No.
No? You don't like picnics?
You
can have a picnic in the beach. You can have a picnic in the woods.
We'll talk about why
picnic.
We'll talk about why picnics are problematic later.
Okay.
But what we'll talk about now is that this is All Things Super, where every week we take a piece of superpower movie, TV shows, even trailers. We watch them, we react to them, we break them down, we review them, and we ask the question, is it super?
Is it kind of gonna possibly be super?
We shall
if
find
you don't know, stay tuned.
Yes. But if you like that, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that come out. If you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on your favorite podcast streaming platform. And if you want to follow us on social media, just click the link in the description below.
I learned that just now. That move right there.
Oh, what is that called? Because I am not with it.
The twirly whirly? You're not with it?
Whirly. Oh my goodness.
For all my audio people, I'm twirly whirly.
He's doing the twirly whirly. So if you don't know what that is, I mean, I'm right there with you because I also know. I'm looking right at it.
Twirly whirly. Now, see, when we see our friends live and they start twirly whirling, you're gonna be right there saying, "I'm not doing it," because exactly. We know you. We know you already.
I was like, "That's all, Mr. VIP, right there."
We know you wasn't gonna do it, Mr. High Standards. I got you.
Let's talk about high standards. Monkey Man.
Yeah.
We're talking about Monkey Man. Directorial debut for Dev Patel.
Yeah.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah. I'm going to let you take lead on this one, Spider.
So we're not going to go through the whole movie, but long story short, we are following this story of revenge from this young man who has had his mother killed by
whole life turned
upside down by this religious kind of fanatic, a cultist, if you will, because that's what it really seemed like. He was kind of creating a cult, but I don't know.
I mean, he definitely didn't have regard for life.
No, this, I guess, self-imposed holy man who felt that it was his
divine right to lead.
His divine right to lead and so he starts basically taking people's land. And I will say this is a movie of, I guess, sort of, because there were some like religious type connotations and beats within the story. So I don't want to call out any wrong religion because I don't know exactly which one it was. They were talking about Habuman. And the last time I heard of Habuman was from M'Baku in Black Panther. Not Habuman, Hanuman. Glory to Hanuman. So
interesting.
But no, I just want to, put it out there before we get into the breakdown of everything that, I don't want to incorrectly call out the wrong culture, because I know there's Sikh, there's Hindi, and all of these different religions and all the different nationalities within that area. And, it's kind of like when we were doing Miss Marvel. We wanted to make sure that we're
100% respectable of all religion,
right? But
as we still are now.
But so there's this religious leader was basically killing these people and taking all their land. And so this young guy who on IMDb is just credited as Kid, but he said in the movie that his name was Bobby. He is basically on a path of vengeance against the people who were responsible for his mother's death. And so we watched this.
Not just his mother, his
whole basically
village.
His whole community.
Yeah.
His whole village, his whole community, they were all killed so that this religious leader could take over their land. And so he works his way up through this seedy organization who's dealing in sex trafficking and drugs and weapons and all this other kind of stuff. He works his way up quite like almost like an honest day's work. He really went in. He's like, look, I just need a job. I need money. Just give me the shit job that people don't want to do. I'll do it. And he got himself a job. And then he impressed his way to work his way up into the fucking VIP room. And he saw that as his opportunity to take matters into his own hands.
He definitely was an opportunist. I mean, the situation that, he's doing, I won't call it MMA fights. I won't call it backroom brawl fights. Like
underground,
not street fight. Underground
fighting
fights. The cool part about it is almost like what is the Mexican one that everyone has to wear a mask? Yeah, they're like luchadors, so everybody's masked up. So cool, he got this monkey mask.
Yeah.
And in the process of surviving the attack on this village and losing this mother, he has these markings on his hands. So I'll just call them markings now.
Incredibly scarred hands.
That makes them look like monkey paws now. Well, very creative to go with that motif.
Yeah.
But not only that, well, I won't say he started out in the beginning believing in himself because he was just basically getting paid to lose.
Right.
And definitely manipulating the situation. He was smart. He was smart about it. I'm not gonna. I'm Spider. I'm gonna let you go. I'm sorry. I interrupted and I shouldn't have because
we just having a back and forth dialogue.
I know, but this movie. I don't want to. I don't want to. I never influence your decisions. Let me just be clear. I want everybody to know Spider has his own views on the movies that we watch.
If anything, I feel like I might influence yours a little bit more than you influence mine, because you're like, you know what, that kind of makes sense
because you give me a perspective that I don't view it as.
Think about. Yeah, and you've definitely done that to me before. You've not changed my decision on whether or not something was super, but you have pointed out some things to me before that I have not thought about, I had not seen. But yeah, so Bobby works his way up through this criminal organization, not by doing crimes, but as an employee. And he finds the opportunity to find the police chief who was responsible for the death of his mother. And so he takes a swing at him. He tries to kill him. But as a young person who at that point had not killed anybody before, of course, he's a little bit hesitant. So we get, a bathroom fight scene. We've seen bathroom fight scenes in a lot of movies. And they're, some of them are good, some of them aren't that great.
You need a Henry Cavill to cock his biceps. He need to
reload his biceps. But yeah, and so the rest of the movie, he ends up getting away because he doesn't kill the police chief, and backup comes in, they chase him away.
Of course.
He ends up getting shot by a sniper. I think he got shot, but it wasn't never really clear. He maybe got grazed or something like that.
Yeah.
But so this sort of, I don't even know what you necessarily call them, but they're
definitely
like,
them.
They're like outcasts.
Yes,
they're outcasts out of the city, and it was really, and I know that there's probably a lot of truth to this because I know some Eastern or Western Asian countries are very anti-homosexual. And so these people that were in this group, this little outcast group, they were the, gay and transgender lesbian people. And one of the things that Alpha, who's the leader of that group, says to Bobby is that they won't look for you here. And it was like, why? It's like, well, because we're deemed unsightly. Like, they don't even want to, like, we could be looking for Bobby was labeled as a terrorist. Like, they were hunting him down, and they will not go in there because they don't even want to be in proximity to those people. And so they get, or Alpha and the rest of the outcast group, they get Bobby to sort of believe in himself, which I will say this just off the bat, probably my favorite part of the movie was I won't call it a training montage, but the training scene where you had the guy playing on the bongo drums, and it was basically like we've seen like in Creed where they're doing mitt training, and the mitt coach will go 1 2 1 2 3, and they throw those punches, and this guy is doing it on the bongos. It is just the 1 beat 2 beats, and it's like jab cross 1 beat 2 beat 3 jab cross jab, and it's like, oh, that was pretty fucking cool.
That is gangster.
But
that is phenomenally good.
So they inspire him to believe in himself. And then another a good part of the movie was Alpha told Bobby, is like, you used to fight just to feel pain. You need to fight for a purpose. And it's like that just turned his whole mentality around, because you look at, like you said, because he was doing underground fighting, he was getting paid to lose, right? So he's just basically, I'm getting into a fight because I need to feel something. And because it was to the point to where and what was the other guy's name? The guy that he kind of made friends with, he was at the
That was the
at the place.
lady's
No, the guy with
brother.
the, was it her brother? I
I
don't know
thought
what
they
the
were
relationship.
family.
I don't know what the relationship between them was, but Alfonso was his name,
Mm-hmm.
and so he told Alfonso, he's like, look, he wanted to get in with good with Alfonso because he saw Alfonso. He was going around the kitchen. He's the guy that knows everybody, that knows
Yeah,
everything, that knows the inner workings, that, you know, knows how everything's done. He's like basically Queenie's right hand man because she trusts
that's
him.
right.
She gave
That's
him a
right.
wad of money. It was like, look, go handle this, you know? And so, like you said, Bobby's an opportunist. He's like, I see this as my one shot to be able to work my way up the ranks. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make you rich. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell you exactly what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go into this fight and, you know, bet on the other guy to win in the third round. And
Yep.
so he goes in there, he's in that fight, and Bobby could clearly win. The guy is really
Mm-hmm.
not really doing any damage to him. So when he got to the third round, Bobby's like, hit me.
Hit me.
Hit me, like hit me, knock me out, because he's not taking a dive, but he's
Yeah.
like, knock me out. And so, like, he's going through these fights, just like, I feel like this is my penance because he blamed himself for not being able to save his mom. So this is what
Correct.
I have to do to make up for it. I have to get the shit beat out of me because,
I deserve that.
right, I deserve it. So Alpha putting him on a different path in life, and he trains himself and to where
Bongos. Cardi
bongo
B.
training.
Cardi B told y'all.
But so
Like a
now
drum.
now he's this ultra super badass. He goes back into the club and he just fucking
Ain't,
takes everybody out.
ain't that crazy what confidence make? It turns him from a monkey man to John Wick.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And so he works his way throughout all of security and gets to the police chief, ends up fighting the police chief, kills the police chief, goes to the holy man dude, and they have a little back and forth, and eventually at the end of the movie, both of them die. And then that's it. Well,
Man, that
maybe
was one
Bobby
of the
might not be
best.
dead, or he might be, I don't know. But it fades to black, and so we're left unknowing.
That's one of the best synopses. And I'm gonna go ahead and give you the hand clap, Spider, because that was one of the best wrap up.
Without all the filler in the middle.
And they said we couldn't do short content. Yeah, that's the show. Good night, everybody. Now the fun happens.
Yes.
Okay,
now we talk about what we think about the movie. You still want me to go first? Okay.
Yes, please.
my biggest issue with the movie, all in all, it's a very tight story. It's a story that we've seen many a times before.
Yeah, it's a revenge story. Yeah,
parents. We get what's his name? Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård. It's coming out with a movie in a couple weeks, following almost the same premise. Boy kills world. Yeah. You know, his family gets murdered, and he's on a revenge mission to kill the people who killed his family. Also, going to be starring Sharlto Copley, who was in this movie as the fight promoter or the fight organizer or whatever.
This guy gets around.
He does. But my biggest problem with the movie, especially if you're going to have a fighting action movie, if the fighting is your biggest selling point, we need to be able to see the fight. Shaky cam is great. You know, the whole guerrilla style filming to where we're in the middle of it. That's all well and good. But if you're shaking to the point to where I don't know who's getting hit and what's going on.
Cameraman got Parkinson's.
Right. There was a scene where he was going down the stairs and it went from an over the shoulder camera to transition to a first person POV where he kicked the dude down the stairs, and then by the time he got to the next landing, it was back to third person. And I was like, do we really necessarily need to go into first person at that moment, when at no other point throughout the movie have we been in the first person perspective? And then they did it again when he was fighting in the ring, right? I think it was. He was fighting in the ring, and they showed a first person where he was like dodging punches.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even first person. That's like second person, because now we're in the perspective of the opposing fighter.
We're gonna deviate on that one because I actually thought they used that one pretty good at that current point in time.
I got you back.
When they came down, I'm glad they didn't stay in that first person's perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
When they do movies like Hardcore Harry or first person shooters like that,
like they didn't do
that don't do the whole movie like that. Don't do that. That's not a good look. But they touched it, I got it, and then they got out of it, and I was like, yeah, don't do that anymore.
I just feel like they should have did it in the first place. I felt like it was unnecessary.
It was, which I wait my turn, but a lot of stuff was unnecessary.
No, I feel like all of, well, I won't say all, but most of my gripes can be summarized into the cinematography of the movie.
Of unnecessariness?
Yeah, it's just a lot of unnecessary cuts, a lot of unnecessary shakes, a lot of unnecessary just framing.
Well, Spider, can I just... Go. Okay, I got to. I'm trying to hold back. Spider.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either, because I desperately wanted this to be... I'm a fan of his.
Yeah.
I watched The Green Knight, and The Green Knight, I watched it, and it was one of those things that you're doing at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and you're like, that's what that was. Wasn't disappointed, wasn't overly excited, just enjoyed the story.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was getting that in this, but at the same time, I was getting a lot of unnecessary things. Like, okay, we stole a wallet, we stole a pocketbook, we stole a purse. Oh my God, if 20 people plus did not touch this purse,
the entire
to get it to you,
city is a part of this network of purse snatchers.
Like, come on. And you're going to tell me that purse didn't have all its contents in it by the time it got to you? Nobody opened up this purse?
I don't think he was really worried about the, well, I guess he did have to be worried about the contents because he was trying to return it back to her.
And okay, come on, right there.
I'm with you. I was because I was really like, when I saw the kid get it, I was like, okay, well, the kid is the last person because somebody young, they can run longer distance because, we had the older dude, they pass it to the other guy, they pass it to the woman. Then the kid gets it. I'm like, okay, it's a like Infinity War thing. And no, not Infinity War, Avengers, the first Avengers, 2012, when the little girl got Bruce Banner to bring her bring him to the hut. So I'm like, okay, the little kid got it. So now we're about to get into wherever like this enterprise is, and where they, like all of these network of pickpockets and all this other kind of stuff. No, it went through the hands of 14 other people.
Like random people on the street, and everyone know what to do with it. Like, exactly. Give this to Dave, give this to Steve, give this to Bridget. Who's Bridget? Just give it to Bridget. Okay. And it magically just got to him.
Yeah.
And he brought it back. Then he shows his palm burned hands, because for those who didn't watch it, we say what we want on here, so no spoiler warning. He burned his hands for trying to save his mom, which is where the tremendous amount of guilt came from.
Yeah.
And how was the Queen Pin supposed to exactly know what that was? She's like, this is all I know. What does that mean to her? She was not there. She had nothing to do with it. She had her own little baby empire coming up at the time. So I can't see how that was a turning factor. But she was real. She was like, take this money and go, thank you for bringing back my purse. Okay, great. Give me a job. I need a job. She takes a phone call, and I was thinking that she was like going to brush him away.
I thought
because you're not
too.
that important.
Because she was like, where's your resume? You're like, who are your references? Like, she was legitimately like, you want a job, you have to go through the proper channels. But then, like you say, he showed her his hands, like, this is all I know. And then, and when she took the phone call, he just stood there. And I guess that she admired him not accepting no for an answer. I don't know.
I guess, because it's not like I'm putting you in grunt work, or you're a part of my squad, or you're not doing security. You're a dishwasher.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, I guess she does have to keep up appearances.
I guess, are you burn your hands in the kitchen?
I don't know.
I don't want you in the kitchen if you burn
Right.
your hands. That's
Like, if you're that careless, I don't want you near anywhere. Our ovens, our stoves. Like, no, you could go valet park.
Exactly. Well, now again, I wanted this because there were so many elements that were firing, but there was just as many elements as missing.
Yeah.
So when we're going through the process of you, I just want to work. And again, what's his name? The guy the inside guy that knows everybody that
Alfonso.
came up to him. Alfonso. I thought that was genuine because you're getting to know everybody that's in and out of here. So you're gonna kind of know me, but at the same time, if that was the case, if he had that much clout to get him promoted, like the promotion, I thought it came from her.
I thought so too.
But it didn't. It came from him. So not a bad way to work that opportunity, but
right.
I want to appreciate that he took liberties to tell the story in a different way versus the typical ABC structure that we get. And he divulged information slowly, maybe a little bit too slow.
I will agree that it was too slow.
Again, he's developing his own path. I don't feel like it was as streamlined. The flashbacks that we were getting, the timing of the flashbacks in the middle of the scene that we were in, I feel like you could have picked a better time to go with your flashbacks.
Yeah.
Because we were right in the prime example that I'm giving. Before he goes in to the VIP situation and, he's getting the flashbacks of everything that's happening. He knows, we don't know as an audience, but we're taken out of the moment because now we have to process this flashback and it's not giving us all the flashback. It's just giving us something. Yeah. So we're trying to figure out what's going on, but we were already invested in you already. So the reveal of what happened isn't as shocking because we're carried along the piece together of what's going on. The more flashes you give us, you're giving us the reveal. And now it's just a confirmation. But from what he said, it sounded like he raped his mom as well as killed her.
I think that's what he did, yeah.
Well, I'm glad it didn't show that because, rape is horrible.
Yes.
But at the same time, if you had this on your mind and you was going to do it, you should have did it. But you wouldn't have did it when you did it anyway, because again, you walked up, you saw the security was sitting there, so you couldn't do it, and it was a public place, so you couldn't do it anyway. So the fact that you didn't do it in the bathroom because you started monologuing.
you gotta have your cool one line. You gotta have your one liner before you pull the trigger.
All you had to do was pull the trigger.
All you had to do was pull the gun out and pull the trigger. That's all he had to do.
You had enough bullets that you could have shot security too.
And then because he gave his little one line, and then the guy came out of the stall and then distracted him. But if you'd just been squeezing instead of speaking,
that's all it's like. It's like cheese in a can. Just squeeze it. It come out.
My whole thing was clearly he had time to plan this all out. Because he had to go buy a gun. He was doing target practice. The guy told him, he was like, look, this is snub nose 32. You got to be close. He's like, close. Yeah. He's like, close is best. I would prefer to be close.
I want to be right up in his face.
I want
Let him see who I am.
Right. And so he's out there. He's like, I don't even know. I don't even know who you are. But so he's got time. He's out there in the alley. He's firing for target practice to make sure he's got a good shot, which, of course, any responsible gun owner makes sure they zeros their weapon so they can be accurate when they're shooting.
At the same time, that gun is not a low caliber gun. Nobody heard those shots. And was that all one night, or did you come back?
No,
and
he had to come back. Because
because there's only 6 shots in the gun.
Revolver only holds 6 bullets. I mean, unless he's sitting there firing 6, reload, fire another 6, reload. I'm like,
but he had the same outfit on. You and I were talking about continuity earlier.
You're right. So it might have been. And that's the thing. So you're showing one night of him, because this is supposed to be a montage of time passing, right? So you
Uh-huh.
show a montage of him firing at the wall, him out in the alley with his dog, and then him doing his
Right.
job, back to the alley, back to him doing his job, back to the dog. And clearly time is passing with him doing his job and him feeding the dog and training the dog. But
Right.
in the alley, we still focus on the same day.
Same day.
I don't know.
So it's stuff like I have no idea why my camera keeps dropping, but it's stuff like that that I don't necessarily get. And then there's great things like when you try to jump out the window and it wouldn't break.
Yeah.
That was comedy gold because it's like it takes you out of it. Listen, we had an action movie and we had a fantasy movie. We kind of merged into one with again, not taking anything away from the religious aspects. Some of
Yeah.
the dreams, fantasy, well, dream sequences or flashbacks felt kind of fantasy-ish,
Him
and I
opening
feel
his
like it
chest threw me all the way off. I'm like,
exactly.
what the fuck is happening? Like, where,
Uh,
what? It seemed like such a random
But you had
time
to
to
get
go in
the,
that direction.
and that's what I'm saying. You picked the weird, odd places to go artistic.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand there's an artistic side and there's a hardcore action side in it. Again, I respect the liberties of you trying to take these elements and merge them together, and you created a story and a narrative that said exactly what I hope you was trying to accomplish. But when you started out talking about, I'm going to say the Monkey King. I know they're not calling him the Monkey King, but they did call him the Monkey Man
Yeah.
in the movie, and it's based off the Monkey King in a sense because the Monkey King ate the sun, and the other gods came and banished him or beat him because he ate the sun. But the monkey was hungry, and he saw the sun and thought the sun was a mango, and
Yeah.
these are story of gods. Okay, got it.
And
So
also, I would have thought that a mango, at least a single mango, would have played a part in the movie somewhere.
no mangoes in this movie.
No
No, no,
mangoes in this movie.
no. But they did have him when he was beat down, kind of reach up to the light to make it seem like he was eating the sun
Oh,
or
right, right, right.
holding the sun.
Yeah.
But it's a weird time to put that in there. Like
Yeah.
if you would have took that element out, the movie still works.
Yeah.
And there are some good things. Listen, when he got hit in the face after the accident, after the chase, which again, I don't understand why Alfonso got in the buggy
I don't know.
when the cops were you could clearly hear sirens coming,
I mean, it wasn't
and
even the
he's
sirens.
like,
They were just in the parking garage, and he got like 20 dudes chasing after him. He stops. He's like, "Get
hey,
in!" He's like, "Okay."
okay. Then when they're shooting at him, he's like, dude, what are you getting me into?
Like,
I like that because it's like, why'd you get in the first place? But they have a car accident. He ends up getting out. He's like, dude, I'm sorry. And that made the most sense. Like, I don't know what you into. I'm out.
right.
But when he got hit in the face, because these are dirty cops, Alfonso tells him the cops are dirty anyway,
Mm-hmm.
he's knocked out, which he's used to getting knocked out. He get knocked out all the time in his underground fights.
Right.
When he wakes up, one of the realest things that he does, he attacks the security. Because when I was in a car accident, you guys were shooting at me. I thought I'd be dead. Even though when you knocked me out, I thought I was dead then. But when I wake up, I realize I'm alive. Oh, y'all must need me alive.
Right.
I'm going to fight to get out. And that's what, again, things like that I can respect because it's like, okay, now we're back into it because why would I pretend to play dead or continue to be knocked out only to go back to the guy that I attempted to kill, which
Right.
I know he's going to kill me.
Oh,
He's a known
absolutely.
killer. He killed my family. He killed my village. He killed my mom.
He would not have made it a day if they made it to the prison.
So I'm going to fight. And that's the grittiness that I did appreciate about it. But the other stuff is I'm like, why here? Why insert this here?
Right. No, I'm with that 100%. Is I absolutely agree with that. Another thing for me was they had very cinematic shots. Just like I was saying, the number of cuts in shaky cam and different stuff that they were doing with the way that they shot the movie was just like all over the place. But I really felt like some of the best scenes were scenes where they actually let the camera like be steady and just let the scene play out for a minute. Like the scene where Alpha was talking to Bobby and he was telling him, like Bobby was saying how he felt guilty about, you know, his mom, and Alpha telling him, you know, you see scars on your hands, but I see a brave young boy trying to save his mother's life. And to have that tear roll down his face, like just let the camera, you don't need to go like, I'm looking at Alpha, I'm looking at Bobby, looking at Alpha, I'm looking at Bobby. You don't need to like do that in that scene. It's like, let that scene just sit and let us absorb that.
Let it breathe.
And there was another when you know, we're going into the final fight scene. Well, not the final fight scene, but the final big fight when the Outcast group and all, you know, and Bobby, they're fighting in the bar. And there was a scene where Bobby was on the bar and he's fighting two guys, and he's backlit by the alcohol, or the shells of alcohol. It's like this yellow tint, looks like the sun, like he's fighting within the sun. And it would have been a very cinematic shot to have them do like fight choreography on the bar while they're silhouetted, you know, because he's in all black, they're in all black, they're backlit by this sunlight behind them, and just let them like do a couple of kicks, punches, throw somebody something while they're all silhouetted. I thought it would have looked amazing, but they stayed up there for like a second and a half, 2 seconds, and then they cut to doing something different. I was like, oh, that would have been a really great shot. Right.
Missed opportunity. And hey, one of the coolest things they did in a flashback when he was walking through the kitchen was having the explosions that happened in the past and having the flare-ups in the kitchen at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the flashback was bad. The placement. And again, it was the anxiety of the first kill, and I got it. Right. We don't know what's going on at the time. We just know this guy's freaking out. At that point in time, it wasn't even about the general. It was just about this other guy that I guess was in the court that had the same ring that was feeling up on the girl, one of the working girls.
Yeah.
And who the hell knew there was a difference between a white wine glass and a red wine glass? I'm showing my ignorance. I didn't know. I was like, oh wow, that's a thing.
I mean, I know there's a difference between a wine glass and a champagne glass, but yeah, I didn't know.
Yes,
but I would imagine.
But a white wine glass and a red wine glass.
A white wine glass maybe like skinnier, and a red wine glass is more like a goblet style. Maybe I'm thinking.
If y'all know the difference between wine glasses, since we're so, you know,
sophisticated
on all things super, let us know. At least let me know. Spider might not care. I'm curious.
I mean, I'm
the difference between a white wine glass and a red wine glass.
I literally in my kitchen I have a book of random knowledge, so I'm down for extra little tidbits and stuff like that.
There you go. I drink my wine from a.
I just drink straight out the bottle.
I've said too much. you said too much.
Yes. But and like you said, the girl that we see that he sort of starts to have the kind of PTSD anxiety attack over. Or not over her.
Gotta have a love interest.
But was it really a love interest? Because I feel like it was just...
They didn't get together.
They barely had a conversation. She told him stop feeding the dog because the dog would keep coming around. And that was about it. And he told her about like he knew what her bird tattoo was. But other than that, they just kind of exchanged glances at each other. Even when she came back and she killed Queenie, they didn't even say anything. She just had blood on her face. He had blood on his face. He took the tray.
No, because the universal thing, that's another thing that overstayed its welcome. Everybody does this, and we understand exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So,
how many times did he do that to the guy playing the bongos? And as cool as that scene was, that also went on too long. You know, because it was like, all right, we get it. We get it.
We get it. You've overstayed your welcome. Let's move on. So we could have cut probably about 15 minutes off the runtime. Mm-hmm. I'll say 15, but I'm under exaggerating.
and okay, so this is something that just threw me. Two things threw me all the way off.
What you got?
One, you know, no fault of the movie or anything like that, but the flashback scene where we get the young Bobby and he's standing kind of out in the field, and we just do this like pull back to expose like all of the burning buildings, and then it pulls back even further, and it's like the interior is on fire. And this is just me. This is just a me thing. My brain was like, how do you? And I'm sure directors can do it, but it's like you tell the kid, okay, we have all of this stuff around you on fire. I don't want you to react to anything that's going on behind you. I just need you to stand here and look sad. And for the kid to do it is like,
this is your moment.
You know, shout out to the actor who played young Bobby, because he was, you know, we always talk about, you know, how we have kids in these movies and they're like the annoying kids asking tons of questions and stuff like that, and they're just, you know, it's like you just want to like, how am I supposed to root for this kid when they're being this way? But it's basically that we get the retelling of this story about Hanuman over and over and over again from his mom telling him about him. And I guess he really fit the role right. Like he seemed like he portrayed like the loving, oh, I'm so excited about be around my mom, you know, and all this other kind of stuff. And then when we get to the scene where his mom dies, you know, it's hard to get that kind of emotional acting out of a child actor, I think.
Yeah.
And so I think he did a decent job at that, because
hey, listen, when he was looking through that floorboard, I said, you need to drop a tear. You need to drop a tear through that floorboard.
He definitely portrayed the fear and horror. And you know, all we could see was his eye, but we were able to see like his emotions, which is, I don't know how you convey emotions through one eye through a crack in the floorboard, but I mean, I really felt like he pulled that off.
He pulled it off because that tear fell. And it's like, you cannot see your mother being brutally murdered and not have the, you know, you can't make a sound because you're wise enough to know that you're not going to win that fight.
Right.
You're not strong enough. You're not fast enough. You'll die.
Yeah.
And the sad part about it is you have to sit there and witness that.
Yeah.
And watch that. But that started the revenge arc.
Yeah. But the other thing that threw me off, and it was just like, okay. So Bobby attempts to kill the police chief. He gets caught. All of the backup arrives. He's in the car driving away. Everybody's shooting at him. Everybody has a gun, right? You have like 15 people, all black suits. They all got a gun. They're all shooting at him. Yeah. He comes back later on in the movie. He takes out the two guys outside, hops the fence, goes in, basically takes out a couple guys in the kitchen, puts the propane tank on the stove so that can blow up. He goes up to the party room floor or wherever he's going. And because they have some type of event going on. Oh yeah, the event for the official that they're trying to get elected. He gets in the elevator, two guys with guns in the elevator. He takes care of them. Gets out of the elevator, everything's, you know, going crazy. He's fighting all of the security. They all run out. They have sticks and knives. And why does nobody else have a gun?
He got a real Kill Billy real fast.
Yeah. And I was like, because the whole reason that the gun was so important for Bobby is because he couldn't sneak a gun in because he had to get patted down and go through a metal detector every day to go to work. And so he trained the dog to go fetch his gun for him, which we never really seen him teach him how to fetch. We saw him teach the dog how to sit.
How to eat.
It was how to eat, yeah. But I guess it was just implied that he taught him how to fetch something and then bring it back to him. But
sure. How long did that take? A week?
We don't know. Weeks? It was because apparently it was still the same. It was still the same day that he was in the alleyway firing a gun. So for all we know, it took a day.
Oh,
I mean, if you could
tread on that,
you could train a dog like that in a day. Then I mean, you could go into business doing that. Right? You go into business doing that, make some money. But yeah, so
I don't think it was ever about the money. Since we're talking about the money, the kid at the end makes a large bet clearly he tells him that he's coming back and he's gonna win. Like, bet it on me to win.
Yeah.
Right. So you take that money and he gives it back to
the outcast people.
Alpha.
Yeah, Alpha and his
to
group.
save the lady, because now who was the person that did that to the lady? Because they said there was a sign up. She tried to take the sign down.
I don't know.
And they beat her.
I don't know.
Plot line. I mean, it's a plot thread that is unanswered because we didn't. Maybe that's the sequel. Maybe we go after them next.
I don't know, because we always talk about story progression, hero's journey, all that other kind of stuff. And before you get to the climax, you have to have that call to action, because the hero, attempts to right the wrongs. He gets defeated. He has to fall so he can build himself back up again. He has that call to action in order to get him back in the fight. But I feel like Bobby didn't need a call to action. Like, he was already training before this happened. So he knew he was going back out there. He didn't need this extra motivation to push him over the top. So
the confidence.
Yeah, he was trying to go. Confidence.
He was trying to go to when he woke up. When he woke up, he's like, "Oh, you up?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm about to go."
Like, he's like, "No, dude, like, chill.
Stay here, rest. Like, nobody gonna look for you here. Take some time.
I gotta go. I gotta go. You gotta go swing at him again. Like, I missed the first time. I gotta go try take two.
Like, nothing changed. I'm still on my same shit,
Like, I gotta get back out.
I'm still avenging my mom. Yeah. Now you want me to take a couple of days off to play bongos with you, but okay. Yeah, that was very muddled water. Yeah. What I do respect about it, though, they did take the Dark Knight trilogy theme, because he went to achieve something.
Mm-hmm.
Failed at it miserably, and then you go through the building up process.
Like,
but as you're saying, as you said, well, they're supposed to learn something new, and I guess that would be the confidence. Yeah. But like you said, he didn't need that. He already had that. The confidence was when he went up there the first time.
I think it was less of the confidence and more of the reasoning behind what he was doing. Like you said, you're fighting to feel pain, but you need to fight for a purpose. And I think that conversation that Alpha had with him about not being responsible for his mother's death, I think lifted the guilt off of him. He was still angry. He still wanted vengeance, but he didn't have the guilt that was weighing him down. I think that's what it was.
Woo,
that was the change that happened.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Stop feeling guilty about what you did.
Just let it go.
Let that guilt go. Then you can become John Wick. You can just go to murdering people.
Because, like, his attitude changed that much to where
I can murder you guilt-free now.
I can murder you guilt-free and I don't have to feel bad about it, because he was then being cocky about it. He's fighting the dudes in the kitchen. There was one guy getting up. He lets him get up and he just throws a pot at him. It's like,
hey, he
really?
smashed you guys with bottles, and I respect the skillet. I thought there was going to be more skillet, like cast iron or to block bullets or something.
Yeah.
We didn't get that.
I think Jackie Chan spoiled us for stuff like that.
I love Jackie Chan. Thank you, Jackie Chan.
And again, it's just these fight scenes could be so great, because when he started like kind of getting into it, I thought they were going to do like a one shot and do a long take. And then like right when I'm thinking like, okay, this is about to be a long take, then they cut. And then, he bashed the guy's head on the counter. I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're not doing a long take. And then we had another angle where he's fighting the police chief and he like rolls backward to dodge him, and then the camera like rolls with him. I'm like, I don't need that. It's like, I don't need to be that immersed to where I feel like I'm doing a backflip with him. It's like, that's unnecessary. And it was just a whole bunch of stuff like that. And then a lot of like out of focus shots, and like a lot of tight shots. Like a lot of the movie was like really up in people's faces.
You need to be here.
I need to be right here.
See my face.
And I I don't know. I really feel like the cinematography was like the biggest downfall of this movie. It was just too many.
Oh,
Like
don't say that, Spider.
I understand wanting to be different and wanting to be innovative and wanting to showcase a more artistic style of shooting. And maybe this is just me, holding on to things that I'm already familiar with. But I feel like it could have been different, but then at the same time not been as excessive, because I think that's what really happened is just it reached a level of excessive
Well, let me
differences.
ask you this, Spider. Let me
Yes.
try this. What was the redeeming qualities about this movie?
The redeeming qualities for me, I think it was a movie that wasn't heavy on dialogue, but it didn't need to be, right? It,
Mm-hmm.
so when things were said, they were worth saying. There wasn't a lot
Okay.
of like there wasn't a lot of like exposition that had to be explained. We didn't need to. This was a great example of show don't tell. Albeit
Okay.
the flashbacks were shown like in a very choppy, out of sequential type, order.
1000%.
But eventually we get to see exactly what happened. And for almost a majority part of that, like when we get the full play out of what happened with this village, from them like at the puppet show to saying that the police are coming, and then for them to set stuff on fire, there are probably like maybe 4 or 5 lines of dialogue spoken throughout that whole entire scene. But the thing about
True.
it is that everything
Which made me
was.
wonder, were the police a problem before? Because they said the police are back. So they must have been
Oh yeah,
coming through extorting
I'm
those
pretty
guys all
sure
the time.
they probably try to like force them off the land first before they came back and then torched everything down. That's what I would imagine. But the dialogue didn't need to be stated because everything that happened was just so powerful visually, right? We get to
Mm-hmm.
see them basically beating up on, harmless, just villagers, setting people on
Mm-hmm.
fire. And then we get the
That was
scene
crazy.
where the police chief is in there with his mom, and how again he's hiding so he can't say anything, but we see his mom fighting back, right? She knows that
Right.
there's probably no chance of her beating this guy, but she's not going to go down without a fight. And so
As she should.
then that whole scene that plays out after that, again, no dialogue, but it's a very powerful scene. And so we
Right.
see like the like we said with the training scene with the bongos and the punching bag. Again, no dialogue, nothing had to be said. The guy with the bongos, I don't think he did talk when they were like at the bonfire at later that previous night, or however many nights before. But again, even through all of that, not a lot of dialogue, and so I will say that the story in and of itself was, like I said, even though we've seen this story before, the story was still told very well, minus the flashbacks being like all choppy. Like you can do out of order flashbacks and give us a piece here, a piece there.
True.
But like you said, just
Memento is a whole masterclass in flashbacks.
right. But like you said, just throwing like random pieces here. Like how many times did we see his mom with her hands in the water? And that's supposed to be like the juxtaposition of how scarred his hands are versus how smooth her hands were. And it's like that was one of the first flashback things that we saw. And at that point we have no context for it. So it's like, why is it important to see this person's hand? Because at that point we don't even know it's his mom. But it's like, why is it that
Right.
important for us to see this person's hand being in the water? Like what's the
It still has no
reasoning
context
behind it?
after seeing the whole movie. And we revisited a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
So take that out. That goes along with the 15 minutes
Yeah.
because it doesn't make or break the movie.
No.
So maybe that's it. Maybe it's an editing thing.
Yeah, I think that
And
it
even though
really
he
was an
directed
edited
it,
thing.
who edited it? Who edited it?
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure he had like some vision, like he had it all storyboarded out and everything.
Thanks. I am a fan of the man's work, but this one is a this one. There are good things on it. There are
Yeah.
good. Hey, when he came back and it was a fight and he did his kick,
Oh yeah.
and the guy had to get in and he was like, man,
Like that. Like
well that kick, right?
we talked
What a
about
kick!
we talk about some scenes that like just hang on a little bit too long. I felt like this was the perfect length. Like the level of awkwardness of him trying to like fill time and then the audience just completely silent. Like they're like giving him
like,
nothing at all. He's like, yeah, how was a surprise? That's
like, how much money did I just lose?
Right, exactly.
I just lost. And he had 2 fights. Shouldn't that kid got paid twice?
He should have gotten.
I don't know if he got paid.
Well, we don't know how much he got paid because he's still.
How much he got paid?
Well, it depends on
2 fights.
if the kid bet on the next fight. Because when you bet, you're only betting on one fight.
Yeah, well,
but we don't know how much money he won because he gave it all back to Alpha.
Oh, that's respectfully, because they need it.
Another thing that
they need it for the costumes.
Right. That's because I really feel like that's what it was spent on. The costumes and the weapons.
God has sent us.
He sent us a wardrobe budget.
She's okay.
She all right.
God want us to have this.
If she dies, we have enough money to drape her in fancy cloth.
There was decked out the 9.
They were in uniform. They came in at like ninjas.
I would rather y'all just came as you were. Don't blow the budget on these outfits.
I thought it was funny.
We're going to war.
And again, completely unnecessary. They could have came in the clothes that they already had on. But, if you're going to do it, do it in style.
Spiritual reasons, because those gods, we had a montage of the gods. We had a lot of them. Mm-hmm. For the Easter egg hunters at the party, at the event. It was almost like watching Love and Thunder, because there was a god, Indian gods, like you said. A lot of people pray to different gods, and I think they had a good representation of many of them that was at the party. But at the same time, if I need y'all to have my back, which he didn't know they were coming, I'd rather y'all would have just came.
Right. That's why they were so late, because you had to coordinate and get dressed.
At that moment, the odds were really up against it. Like you was outmanned, and I was like,
because again, none of them had guns, so I don't think he was in any real danger. He seemed to be handling himself just fine.
Way to set the tension real low, real low.
It's like
the tension at its all-time highest.
Like there's no reason for him to really be afraid. But then when Queenie comes in with a gun, that's like, oh shit, he might get shot.
Right. And I didn't pay attention the first time. Mm-hmm. So when he actually just chopped her finger off, and it was like, and she was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Again, okay. that nod, just everybody's nod.
Just everybody. So later, yeah, later, I guess. Okay. It could mean anything. Starbucks, maybe I don't know. I don't know. You want to go out? Yeah, I guess we're going out. Yeah. I don't know somehow they agreed to whatever it was.
Right, whatever it was.
And now I got this finger. I totally forgot about the finger when he whipped it out. I was like, oh, no, I guess he needed that.
Yeah, I
never seen her open it.
Because by the time we get introduced to her in her office, she's already in her office. We never get to see her going up to her office. So what I thought when he chopped off her thumb was that he
was it the thumb? I thought it was a finger.
No, it was a thumb. Yeah, it was a thumb.
Bloodline. Oh, okay.
But what I thought was happening was that he was doing it for the safe. Because he was in the office.
Right.
She made him turn around, and she was putting in a combination, and they did a quick glance, even though it wasn't like perfectly clear. They did a quick glance where he was looking at the reflection of her putting in the combination. And it really, the way they focus on his face, again, because there are all these tight shots, the way they were focusing on his face, it looked like he was really
to see my face.
But only like from here to here. But it looked like that he was focusing on memorizing what the numbers were.
Right.
Like he knew where the safe was located. He just had to memorize the passcode. So when he cut off the thumb, I was like, oh, so it might be thumbprint encoded. It didn't have to put in the code. Then to get in the safe, get all the money. Because I'm thinking, but like you said, it wasn't never about the money. But I was thinking that after he was done with all of that, then he was going to go back and get the money. But Because I thought he was going to get the money. I thought he was going to give the money to the woman. Or at least when he cut off the thumb, I thought he was going to give the thumb to her so she could go get the money. I didn't know it was going to be used for the elevator.
To free her.
Yeah, so
she's clearly being sex trafficked.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. Why would you think that?
You still stuck.
No, why would you think that? Because that's what you showed me.
This is not about you. This is about me. I mean, I'm glad that I got to know you, but you got your own problems. I can't help you with that.
Hey. Okay. Okay. Are we good? You're on your own. This is what's happening. That's what that means. You're on your own.
You can find your way home, right?
Damn. Thanks for saving me, but I got it from here. So
really, she saved him because he was about to get shot.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what that is. Thanks for saving me.
And also,
I got it from here.
I don't know what kind of party tray platter she had or how she hit Queenie with it, because it looked like she did a typical wrestling, hit you with the flat
WWE. Yeah.
And she got covered in blood and Queenie was dead.
We swinging for the fences around here, Spider.
How, first of all, what type of metal? Was that a fucking adamantium party tray?
Had to be. Couldn't be in vibranium.
So to where she hit it that hard to crack her skull open, I guess, and kill her, and then still sharp enough on the edges for Bobby to cut off her thumb. What the fuck are y'all serving on? That was one of those.
I don't want none of those others.
Odd Job 007, with his hat. That's a party tray like that. You could just throw it and just embed into a wall.
That's crazy.
But yeah.
And she died.
And she died.
And she died. So that's what I'm saying. We was campy. We were fantasy. And some things worked. Some things didn't work. Listen, when you got in the elevator, you clearly...
that would be my word for the movie. The movie was inconsistent.
You clearly saw that there were two levels that he was going to. There was the logo with the crown on it, which is obviously the top level.
The penthouse, yeah.
The penthouse. But I'm not going to go there just quite yet.
Right.
I'm going to stop
the
above.
VIP room, the VIP level.
Because I know that he's there. He has to be there.
Why is he there? Everybody else left the building. Why the hell did he
Here's the thing that's what I'm asking too, because when the shots were... Go ahead.
Not only did
he security takes you out the building.
Right, security takes you out the building. But not only did he get left behind, the politician was up there too. The guy that was running for office, he was up there. Why did you go up there? Why did you
was up
leave?
there with no security. Where his security went?
And even on the penthouse, the old religious leader dude, where's your security? They ushered him out of the room. And then we just gonna let you go upstairs by yourself.
You get a Madam Web treatment. Stay here. We'll be back in 3 hours.
Right, we'll be back in 3 hours. Stay in the forest. I got some beef jerky for you.
I'll give you the Madam Web. That's what you about to get. Think I'm about to take a bullet for you.
But yeah, so the police chief's in the VIP on the VIP floor. Yeah, just
makes no sense.
Just waiting.
So, I knew you was gonna come here. How?
Because
you think he's getting revenge.
He needed the thumb for the elevator. So what made you expect that he was gonna get Queenie's thumb, get on the elevator, and then come to this floor to see you?
Because at the same time, you don't know, because you don't even remember this guy.
Right. You remember them after you tried to kill him. You didn't remember him for the first time.
Of course. You haven't seen him in years.
Yeah.
At least a decade. And now he's I actually thought he stabbed him in the... Here's something I don't understand.
I thought he stabbed him
Who stabs a guy one time in the leg and then leave the knife there? You were asking to be stabbed by that same knife.
Really?
Roadhouse. Did you see? You see what's going on here?
I'm gonna stab you with the knife you stabbed me with.
Right. That's only fair.
Yeah.
It's only fair, Spider. So you can know how it feels. But at the same time, you get up there to the politician, he got knives in his slippers, in his sandals. Did you really think this man was just gonna walk up?
That was the religious leader.
Yeah, the religious leader got...
Yeah, he got little spikes in his sandals.
Who designed this? Mark Jacobs didn't do that.
No,
He ain't doing that.
I don't know.
That's not a
Apparently,
Louis Vuitton
because
special.
that was my whole thing. I was like, how is this supposed to be climactic, right? Because clearly,
you got to get the guy that give the word. It's not just the guy that did it.
I understand that, but and I'm guessing that his security was all the guys that he beat down and killed in the bar. I guess that's why he was by himself. I'm just thinking about it like I'm guessing because we saw that a bunch of people came in and then that second wave came in and that's when Alpha and their group came in. So I'm guessing that second wave.
Y'all was gonna protect him with swords and knives.
Yeah, pretty much.
Clearly, when y'all had guns before, was this a backup plan? Did we run out of bullets?
Maybe.
Like, I'm empty.
Queenie had the last. Queenie had the last clip. She was hoarding it. She's up there hoarding bullets.
She is,
and then just wasted them in a wall for some reason. How many shots did she fire when she could clearly not see him anymore?
I don't know.
And then the thing about it is, he's hiding behind something. Clearly, it's wood. It's not like bulletproof, but she's still shooting at the wall above him instead of shooting where she saw him go hide.
She's distressed. She's emotional. You messed up for her, remember? Yeah, she was trying to say that we can't mess up tonight.
He blew up her kitchen.
You know, spiders, sometimes kitchens get blown up. Ask any X-Man. Ask any X-Man. They'll tell you that mansion gets blown up almost every movie.
Rebuilding this mansion.
If I was a contractor, that rework is effortless.
Whoever got that contract is making bank. You're like, same plans, you don't want to change nothing? All right, back at it again. Call up his crew.
Now, the bad part about it,
we got to go back to Westchester.
The bad part about it is if Xavier making you think you're doing it just for the first time, because you know.
Oh, that's fucked up.
I'm just saying, you might not remember doing it before.
Every time you leave, pleasure having your business. Hope we can see each other again sometime.
Damn.
That
Spider, I gotta ask the question.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the Monkey Man, because again, it got some redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
The question is it super?
As much as, because we didn't do a reaction to the trailer, but we watched the trailer together just to kind of see if this is something that we wanted to take on.
Yeah, we did. They cut the shit out of that trailer.
Yeah, the trailer, and again,
the trailer was an indication of the movie. They cut the shit out of this movie.
And again, like we were talking about when we did the Bad Boys trailer reaction, about when you have an action movie, and there are some comedic elements to it. Do you include all of those comedic elements in the trailer instead of, letting them trickle out throughout the movie? And there were really like only two real comedic elements in the movie. There was the first part when Alfonso brought him into the garage and he was talking about his car. He's like, how she look? She's a beauty, isn't she? I call her Nikki.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj, big bumper, great headlights.
Big bumper, great headlights.
Right. And so we saw that in the trailer. And then we also saw Bobby trying to jump out of the window and failing in the trailer.
Epic fail.
I feel like if the Nikki buggy thing, I felt like if that wasn't in the trailer, that would have got a laugh out of me. The window thing. The window thing.
It's not a new trope, no.
No. It's definitely not a new trope, but it was like, and it's kind of, I guess, like the theme of the whole episode is just that it was oddly placed because we're in a high stress situation. We just tried to kill the man who killed our mother, failed at it, and now we have all of these people coming after us, and we currently have no way out.
Right.
My only exit right now is this window.
Drop a joke.
Right. My only exit right now is this window who's, God knows how many stories up. And so I'm going to run for the window and try to jump through it. And then just basically like hitting a brick wall.
Epic fail.
And it's like, it's just, that wasn't the right place for it. The premise of it, the execution of it, great. Expertly performed. The placement.
Where could you put where could you have placed that situation and got the reaction?
I've
I don't think it was
it,
that type of movie.
it wasn't. It wasn't. And really, like Alfonso being as cheery as he was for the most part almost felt out of place for a good bit of the movie. But he seemed like that sleazy car salesman type guy, like we said, you know, who knows everybody, who knows how to get things, who knows the ins and outs, and so he did fit in that moment. But so I think that's why the Nikki joke, you know, would have been all right. But yeah, jumping in the window, I don't see anywhere else you could put something like that in because it didn't really need
in
to be
Central
in.
Intelligence. You can put
Yeah.
it in something like a Central Intelligence
Yeah,
and it'll fit.
and that's when you have
But
comedy throughout. But it had all of the things that it needed to be super, but it just didn't pull it off. Is like we said, the cinematography of it and just the way that it was shot, the different cuts, some of the choices that they made with some of the camera angles and, you know, transitions and stuff like that. It just it took me out of the movie too many times. Like I can understand, you know, like we've seen
like a cheating ex.
but
you did this too many times.
We've seen movies that have shaky cam for fight scenes and stuff like that. But when every fight scene is almost all shaky cam and we can't see who's getting hit, we can't see where the punches are landing because half, like when he was fighting the guys at the bar, it was literally he's fighting one guy over here, he's fighting one guy over there. Now, instead of them framing it up to where he's fighting both of them in a single shot so we can see like one get hit and fall back so he could go to the other one. And then he falls back, then he could go to the other one. And so he could switch back and forth. They're literally taking the camera going, and it's like by the time they pan over to this side, the punch is halfway over. And then so we get there late. So he's already turning back around. So we got to pan to the other side. We get there late. And it's like, that was so unnecessary. It's just back it up.
My God.
Let us.
If you take like 3 steps back, if you just take 3 steps back.
Not even taking steps back. There's a zoom button right there for the lid. Just hit that zoom. It's W for wide. Just hit the W.
Tap that 3 times. Just hit it 3 times.
Just back up. Just a little bit. Just a
we
little
can see
bit.
a peripheral every day. You ain't got to do nothing.
But no, it's just stuff like that. Like I said, it took me out of it just too many times because it could have been, in my opinion, shot a lot better. And for that, I cannot call it super. But Mr. VIP Frankie Washington.
Sir. Spider, I got you coming through loud and clear. What you say?
Is Monkey Man super?
Oh Lord!
I didn't mean
the fact that you even say that in the same sentence is diabolical.
I know. I normally get a little bit more build up. I just had to get straight to it.
Hey, listen. This is the movie again. I started out this podcast, this video, this episode saying this is the movie. I'm glad that he took liberties and going off in an artistic way, telling his story the way he wanted to tell it. He should be proud of his accomplishments. Now, in the world of landing in the super status, not this one. No. I can't give it that. I won't say it that. Like you said earlier, it had the potential to be super.
Yeah.
I think you had to. I love the fact it was shot on location. I love the fact it was shot in the Middle East, India. I'm sorry, India, and I love the fact that they put these people on. I love the fact that we got culture involved into the story.
Yeah,
we got storytelling.
Like,
we had great beats.
Excuse me, like a 98% like Indian cast.
Yes, and again, fan of his work. I mean, he's a good actor. He says he does a lot of show not tell. I've never seen him very heavy on script in any of his shows, but I think the ability to tell a story consecutively and just straightforward is probably what was best with some of those elements. Maybe not more of the fan. I understand Your mother meant everything to you.
Yeah.
She raised you. She told you the story about the Monkey King. And again,
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing when I say the Monkey King.
And still
And
very like religious in his upbringing because they show a lot of the
but at the
flashbacks
same
that they
time,
were
he
praying.
gave yeah, but he gave up on religion. I don't know if you caught that because
Yeah.
when he pulled the newspaper out, he slapped the fool right there, and you caught that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not, I won't say it was Christianity, but when he's standing there, reflection and holding his shoulders out, it's clearly like a Christ like pose.
Right.
So we get the religious aspects of it. Like you said, it's all throughout the movie. I think there's nothing wrong with picking your themes and your tropes, but I think it does matter how you structure them and set them in telling the narrative of your story.
Yeah.
Because there is a pace, and you want to keep up with the pace. And if you're doing things like inserting comedy in the midst of the action, it has to be comedy that plays into the action. Though the window situation was interestingly funny and good, it was badly placed.
And there was honestly
But
no reason that he should have made it out of that situation.
well,
Because
there's
they
a
had the
lot,
guns.
but I'll give you an example of something that does play. Like for example, the fight in the kitchen. Like
Yeah.
when you start to use the elements around in a comedic fashion, that works.
Yes,
You're in the
works.
midst of it. You're doing something like I don't know, throwing eggs in somebody's face and then throwing grits or grease in their face. Now they have fried egg on their face. You know, that can be funny depending on how you do it. It doesn't take you out of the scene because it's in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So if I feel like I don't want to say if he had more time on the script, it would be. I think he someone. I think that this is a great base if he wants to continue to direct and probably write and be involved like that. I can only see it going uphill from here.
Yeah.
Because this is his first one, this first directing debut, and I won't say it's a bad movie. I'm not gonna say that.
No.
I just won't say it's super.
Agree.
I will say it was not super. I can't say it's super. It's not super. Super does not.
No matter how
don't
you
say Monkey Man
it.
and Super. Don't call it Super Monkey Man.
Yeah.
Don't even put Super and Monkey Man together. So I had to stop drinking my drink. Don't do that. We're not doing that.
No. But well, let us know what you thought about Monkey Man.
When he got his confidence, he started fighting like a monkey. I mean, he drove that point home.
Yeah.
But why do we dye the monkey mask? Remember, he dyed it. Yeah, it was black before, then he dyed it, and it was like.
Did he dye it or did he bleach it?
Well, it was a different color. So why?
I honestly thought
we're wearing it.
I honestly thought like his vengeance, like his crusade going through the building. I thought it was going to be like because he's accepted this new like persona, this new like understanding of himself. So that's again, I guess like
we talked about the first two guards, immediately pulled it off.
Yeah, he immediately pulled the mask off, threw it down in the alley. I'm like, well, what was the point then? Like, what was the point of the mask? I guess just to get through the streets because if the cops still looking for him.
You're teetering, movie, because you're about to get that. If you move it, you about to get.
Yeah,
it didn't have a point.
Because they really made a big emphasis about him dunking the mask in slow motion, pulling it out in slow motion.
This is epic. This is
something significant. You need to pay
attention to.
This is very important.
This is Zack Snyder right here. Here, Zack Snyder.
2 seconds in the alley.
No.
Off. Threw it like you threw that bag at the top of the show.
It's never too far.
There you go. But yeah, I don't know. But it's just stuff like that. Just really no reasonably logical explanation behind it. Like we can't imagine like I understand that there's subtext and things that you can read into and things that you can read between the lines and understand what's going on.
Yeah, of course.
Like you said, we don't really get because I think it would be different if when he left Alpha before going to fight to bleach the mask or dye the mask and then go into the next fight with the white mask, because it like he changed. He's not fighting to lose anymore. He's a different person. He understands what he needs to do. So when he gets into the fight and then, KOs the guy with one kick, they're like, okay, this is a new Monkey Man. Like, this is somebody different.
Right.
But he still went in with the same black mask. And then after the fight, then he dyed it. So it's like, it could have easily, that's a scene that could have easily been put before.
If you would have took that right there and then just put it in the front.
And then, I don't know. I can't. I can't
say it. Say it, Spider.
No, I'm just saying I can't. I can't answer those questions as to why the decisions were made the way that they were made. I don't know. Because like normally we can kind of speculate and hypothesize and theorize and make up our own conclusions and stuff like that. But it's like here, it's just like I don't know. They just chose to do it that way. They just that's what they went with.
Is this a Rotten Tomato score? Does it have a high IMDb and GY rating?
It is being reviewed very well critically on IMDb. It's at a 7.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomato score 88 critic reviews, 84 audience reviews. So people like it.
Well, there you go. And there maybe is a sequel coming to fight. The person that beat up the lady that we didn't address at all. We just
doubt it.
That's
because
Return of the Monkey Man.
Because the thing about it is that we even had some of them get killed by the security, so we would have to avenge all of them, but we can't avenge the ones that got killed by security because security's already dead. So yeah. I don't know. I don't see Bobby coming back or Kid.
Bobby's coming back. Bobby's coming back.
But who's he going after this time? What else does he have to fight for?
That's the same
because I really don't feel like he was that connected to Alpha. Well, John Wick was basically just fighting for his life.
Right. Now Monkey Man's fighting for a banana.
Oh, you think that Queenie's boss is gonna come after him? So he has to fight for his life to survive? Because like we said, it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about him trying to go in and stop this prostitution ring. It wasn't trying to him go in and stop the drugs, snort all the coke you want, traffic all the women you want, sell all the guns you want. I'm not concerned with any of that at all. I just want to kill a police chief, and I want to go kill this police
for him. Right. Just Killmonger's words. I'm here for him, and I'm just here to kill him. Once I do that, I'm going find out where they make this tray centerpiece from, so I could use.
What Killmonger say? He's like, I don't need the whole country. It's like I don't need all of Wakanda. I don't need everybody. I just need him.
Listen, there's clearly a power vacuum at this current point in time. You done killed a religious figure and a police.
Right.
And they know who you like. That doesn't go away. Like they know who you were.
Yeah.
I'm sure you still want it.
I mean,
because nothing clears the name. You didn't get any evidence to say the wrongdoing. Like, okay, so maybe on part 2 he's on a run from the government.
I don't know. This is gonna be
Monkey Man.
A born identity type thing.
Monkey. I'm so glad that they didn't do that. When he got shot and when he fell into the water, right away I knew he had to fall into the water. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. You know what you're doing. you woke up, you're alive. Like he cheated death a couple of times.
I mean, he cheated death a whole bunch of times. He should have been shot like 50 times over, but they had shit aim.
Well, and he's the Monkey Man. Not one banana or mango.
No bananas, no mangoes.
So that's profiling. We can't profile the Monkey Man.
Is it profiling or is it the opposite of profiling? Because I think if there were bananas, that would be profiling, wouldn't it?
I wanted them to have a banana. Stereotyping. Yeah, well, I wanted them to have a banana. He's a Monkey Man. At least
maybe
to have bullet holes go through a banana. No monkeys were hurt on. Hey, speaking of monkeys, what was the purpose of the eye shot with the monkey? Remember when they panned the camera and then we were looking at the monkey, like the real monkey with the dirt in his fur and all that? Like,
yeah,
no reason because of
I don't fucking
reasons.
know. I have no fucking clue.
And y'all ask us why the movie not super Mr. VIP.
Like we have no answer.
Make it make sense.
And
okay.
There was a lot of like actual footage interstitched throughout the movie that I guess shows like the real conflict that's going on over there with these type of things. You have like these people in power and these corrupt, authority figures and stuff like that, and is how the people getting treated. So we got to see like people in the street getting abused and all this other kind of stuff.
I appreciated that. That's what I'm saying. That's one of the key parts. Like you're showing me your country, and you're showing me the real side. Like this is happening. Like there's sex houses here, and there's guns, and there's drugs, and this is a seedy underworld. Okay, I got it. But don't take me out with a ill-placed flashback that's about putting your hand in the water. It's out of place. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, man, it's because listen, when they were saying that these people are suffering, you're thinking, Alpha Axel, what are you gonna do about it? Like, and he's like, man, they got people that's really suffering. So you get the sense that he wants to it's not just about his mom. It's about freeing the people. It's about making real change.
It's about, he doesn't want what happened to him to happen to other people. So these people have to be taken out of power because they're still going and taking all the land. They're taking all of these people's homes away from them. And even we had in some of the dialogue was hard to understand, but of course you're in movie theaters and stuff like that. But when the religious leader was interviewed, they were like, you're taking all this land because you're trying to open this factory or this warehouse or whatever. And the interviewer was like, well, what do you say to all of the workers that say they're working in unsafe working conditions? And the true mark of a villain, right? Doesn't even answer the questions, doesn't even address the allegations or anything like that. He just simply says, those aren't workers. Those are my followers? Or something like that?
Some nonsense like that.
And
because he was saying that the people that was in the village gave up the land. There was nobody there.
Right.
There was nobody. It was desolate.
The farmers. The land was barren. And they agreed to leave. I'm like, you.
Yeah, the few people that was there, they agreed to leave.
Right. Lying asshole.
Really? Where they at? Let's talk to them. See, that's journalism right there. Let's go ahead and talk to them.
Can you give me their forwarding address? I want to ask them a couple questions.
Yeah, come over here. Y'all will be together soon.
Right. I'll show you exactly where they are.
In the heavens. In the heavens.
I'll send you right to
them. You can talk to them all day.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
But
he's fighting for the people, but you don't get that sense when he's fighting.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't really look like he's fighting for the people. I mean, because I guess because he really doesn't kick it into high gear until after the woman gets attacked, which I guess is supposed to make us think like this is his motivation to go back and, because he can't see
what that was
somebody else. This is me hypothesizing. This is me,
thank God for that.
Trying to fill in the blanks.
I didn't catch it.
Because I'm just guessing because we don't know how long he would have stayed there, had she not got hurt. Because I mean, he was training. Yeah, he was training. He was still arrested and stuff like that. And again, but we don't know how much time passed, so we don't know exactly how long he had been there. But
time works differently in a TV.
But
things work differently in different universes.
But that's kind of how they framed it. The way that happened, and it's like, okay, well now I have to leave. But before I do, I have to make sure I get some more money first.
Okay.
That's what he did. He was like, I gotta go, but let me break into your safe and steal some of your money so I could go make more money for you.
Yeah, right. Heroes don't do that. So again, I understand they're taking the liberties to tell a different story, and you took it and you multiplied it and you was fruitful and you gave it back, and I don't think they mind, but at the same time, I think you could have eliminated that and just had the dialogue with the religious figure before you killed him, that you're doing all this, you're people, and you call yourself a religious figure, or
Right.
you're a zealot or something like that. I'm here for them. I'm here for the villages that you've destroyed. I'm here for the people that you murdered, all for your greed. I'm here. I am the product of that. And show your monkey hands. Show what you've been through, and understand that this is not going to be a debt that will come easy for you. I will make you suffer like they suffer. I will make you beg like they beg. I'll make you scream like they scream. Because again, we're in this grittiness of the story. Go ahead, and already established he's not really a hero. He's an anti-hero because you can't do the stuff that you just did, like steal from the church or steal from the people, even if you're going to give it back, because stealing is wrong. Right. So you're already an anti-hero.
You steal the money from Alpha, but don't steal the money from Queenie. Make that make sense.
Thank you. So you might as well just go ahead and get your licks in. You know you're going to end up killing them. So, but you said it anyway. So for every punch that you throw, you're not throwing it for you, because your mission was concluded a floor down.
That was like
when you killed.
If they were going to do a sequel, I think it should have ended with him killing the police chief, and then the sequel, or at least the end of this movie, leading up to him trying to go after the religious leader, and then the religious leader getting away. So it was like,
I thought security took him out the building.
He was just,
I was like, why would they take him up?
Dipping his toes in the water.
I'm like, I know he's a dude. Like, you don't know there's a threat downstairs. Like, we didn't even see the kitchen. We don't know if the kitchen's on fire, if the building's burning. Why would you take your?
He just like that. Ooh, the water's warm.
This is so nice. Like, dude, you gotta.
And then he takes his foot out and then shakes it off. Can't get my shoes wet. Don't want to track water across the floor.
I'm like, this guy wants
to your point, this is supposed to be the climactic ending of the movie. This is his final boss. He's, this is the person that he has to get through to. This is the person that he has to get through to finish his story.
You made it to the boss level.
And this should have been one of the most impactful scenes in the movie, because I'm confronting the person who's responsible for all of this. I'm, like you said, this is me being able to now get my anger out, get my vengeance out, let you know that everything that you've done is unacceptable and now you have to pay for it. But the religious leader,
guilt-free.
Right, guilt-free. Just unfazed. But the religious leader said some words, and to be 100% honest, to be 100% honest, I don't remember anything that he was talking about. Like, nothing that he said like really had any type of lasting impact on me, because I know at that point is like a whole thing of, oh, well, you should join me. We could, basically rule together, all this other kind of stuff. Classic, villain monologue before they villainry. Classic villainry before he pulls out his shake like Loki when he was talking about that Thor Ragnarok. It's me.
Sentiment. How dare you?
There you go.
How dare you?
But you don't
remember, because he started monologuing with a story. He started telling a story about, have I ever told you the story of what? Like, again, what is the hesitation for? I'm waiting for you to. I ain't here to hear no story, dude.
He's literally in there with a knife in his hand, and you're letting this man stand in front of you and just run his mouth. Why do you owe him any courtesy? If the main reason that you are here is to come up here and kill him, do it and get it over with.
Get the killing.
He didn't learn his lesson from the bathroom.
And this is why you are not super.
But let us know what you thought about Monkey Man. If you had the opportunity to go see it, and let us know what you thought about this video. Remember, if you like it, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel.
So stretchy.
Hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that come out. I mean, it's fabric. Fabric is
well, no, I was saying, like, the logo is like, we need a stretch. I'm working on it, guys. I'm gonna get y'all one of the little in the shape of the logo. so you can be. This show is supposed to be stress free.
Yeah. ATS stress balls coming soon. But if you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on your favorite podcast streaming platform. And if you want to reach out to us on social media, just click the link in the description below.
And leave a comment. Let us know if y'all want those ATS stress balls.
Leave a comment, let us know. But yeah, it could have been better. It could have been.
It could have, but I'm thankful that they did it.
Yeah,
I would,
like you said, it's not a bad movie.
Rewatchable factor on a scale of 1 to 10.
I said 1. I don't need to see this movie again. And this is not. This is. I think outside of just genuine interest, I can't. Like, I don't see anyone who I know that I would say, oh, you got to go see Monkey Man. Like, it's not one of those like, oh, you got to go run to the theaters and go see Monkey Man. It's one of those, oh, have you seen Monkey Man? I mean, Rotten Tomatoes, yeah. I mean, it's got favorable scores. So it's like, again, for me, it's not that it was a bad movie. It's just,
right.
It could have been
not better. A good movie. It's not a super movie.
It's not a super movie by any stretch of imagination. But I can't imagine myself telling anybody like, you have to go see Monkey Man. You have to go out to the theaters and go see it. I feel like if it's on streaming, sure, watch it. If you're a fan of Dev Patel, sure, watch it. You know, if you just like action movies, sure, watch it. You know, but it's not like it's not like something that you have to
mix with a fantasy to have a drop of comedy,
not even
make
a drop.
No sense.
You got just like you take, you know, like when you mess with kids and you put your finger in the glass and you flick it at them. That's how much comedy was in the movie.
There you go.
Just a little flick of comedy.
Nice bumper and headlights. Big bumper, nice headlights.
Just God.
Well, shit, you could watch the trailer and probably be entertained, but
I mean, you could watch the trailer and pretty much understand what the whole movie is about. Just know that at the end of the day, he succeeds.
You know, because we cuts to black.
I mean,
we don't know if he died or not.
The people he wanted dead are dead, so that's a success.
Yeah, he gets stabbed in the hand, and he might die. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, he got stabbed he got stabbed in the stomach and in the hand. And again, the person, well, I mean, at that point, I mean, he kind of like forced it out of his hand. But again, stabbing somebody with the thing that they stabbed him with.
And leaving it in him. Yeah. I don't know. People that I know that stab repeatedly. They don't stop stabbing until you stop moving.
I mean, he did it in a bar scene. He stabbed a guy in the chest like 3 times.
That guy's dead.
Oh, absolutely. Like,
but when you get to the people that you want to kill or supposed to kill, you give them time.
Here's my thing, and this is what I'll leave off with. I feel horrible for
why is that? What are you talking about?
Whoever has the morning shift. Because
see all the dead bodies.
Because can you just imagine? You know, minding your business, you're at home, you're like, shit, I gotta go to work in the morning, get up 7 a.m., get dressed, you know, take the bus or whatever you gotta do to get to work. You walk in the door, kitchen's burnt to shit. You like, fuck, okay. And then you try to go up to the boss's office and check, you know, if everything's okay. And then you just bodies everywhere. Like, what the fuck happened last night?
And y'all know how to throw a party.
Like, do I have a job anymore?
You should have called off.
Yeah.
That's what you should.
Yeah. or the person who did call off that night is like, oh, Tony, dude, I can't make it in tonight. Can you cover my shift in the kitchen? You know.
Oh my God. Never picking up a shift for you again. Ever.
I mean, he's not picking up a shift for anybody again, ever.
Just calling off saved your life.
But we'll be back. Thank you all so much for joining us for this episode. We greatly appreciate all the love, all the support, all the engagement, and Monkey Man. But we will be back.
Getting so much better. Look at this.
You get practicing. We'll be back for the next episode. But until then, remember, keep being super.